What is going on, guys? We are now in the middle of January as we prepare for an inevitable future Nintendo Direct and also what games that we could be getting for the year 2024. A couple of weeks ago, I made a video talking about all the brand new titles that we could get in 2024, so that will be linked up above and in the description if you want to check that out. But today, we are focusing on all the ports, remasters, and remakes that we could receive in 2024. At least the first 3 quarters of this year feels like it's going to be cleanup for the Nintendo Switch, as we're going to have lots of ports and remasters and remakes, as we already have a lot on the schedule right now, with the only new game being Princess Peach Showtime. I decided to really dive in and talk about some more that we could possibly get as well, including some fan favorites. So before we get started, a lot of you guys watching this video right now are not yet subscribed. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe, especially for this week, because you're going to want to see a very special video I've been working on at the end of this week. But thank you so much for tuning in. Now let's jump into the video. So let's talk about what we know so far. This Friday, January 19th, we are getting another Code Recollection, which is a 2-game combination pack from the DS. One of the games that never even released in the US is finally coming, which is pretty cool. That releases very soon. February 16th, we get Mario vs. Donkey Kong, which was a Game Boy Advance game, finally coming back to life, which is crazy. One of the very first Mario vs. Donkey Kong games. That's next month. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD coming in summer of this year. That's really all we know of it so far. We've got a couple of trailers, so it seems like it's almost done, but we're going to have to wait until the summertime to officially get our hands on this thing. And then Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door HD only got a 2024 release card. But the game did just get rated, which means normally it's very close to completion, but still I think it would have to be after Luigi's Mansion 2, simply due to the fact that it never did get a release date in the summer or really any type of title besides 2024. Alright, with that quick wrap up, that is a total of 4 remakes or remasters that we know about this year already, and I'm guaranteeing that we're going to get at least 4, maybe even 5 more. Yeah, I think this year is going to be full of games that we've already played, just to kind of hold us off until this new console. But let's move on by series and talk about what we could get. Well, for Mario, I went off straight with Mario Galaxy 2. I think this is one of the only few options that we could get from Mario, because I think Mario is really going to be saved for the end of the year with his big 3D Mario game and also some small spin-offs like sports games and, you know, party games and stuff like that. But Galaxy 2 needs to happen. It's weird. It was one of the few Mario games that never did come over to the Switch. It's kind of just left on the Wii to die, apparently. But yeah, Mario Galaxy 2 needs to happen in some capacity. Maybe they didn't put it into the 3D All-Stars because they wanted to do more with it. I don't know. It's hard to say. But I'm really hoping that we see something from Mario Galaxy 2. Honestly, that would be really cool and a really nice surprise this year. Like, look at the trailer for this game. This is the best quality footage you could find online right now. It's sad. We need Galaxy 2 again. Moving on to the Zelda franchise, there is a lot on the table for what they could do. Obviously, having a big game with Tears of the Kingdom is going to be a while until we see another original Zelda game. And I even think the next one isn't going to be a huge one yet. It's going to be like a top-down 2D Zelda game, but enough about that. Let's talk about what ports we could get. So, of course, the big ones, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, both on the Wii U. There's no way they shouldn't come in just like a duo pack on the Switch. It makes sense. They have done it with certain games like Pikmin 1 and 2. I know those are older games, but I mean, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess are very old as well. So, come on, give us like a collection pack, a duo pack, and people will eat that thing up. Come on, these games need to be on the Switch. It's so strange that they're still not when we're on like our last legs of the Switch. This has to happen soon. Another one, Ocarina of Time remake. This is something that's been talked about a lot by a lot of people, that apparently Nintendo has been working on this game for a while now, and there was rumors that it could have been revealed at the very end of last year and never happened, but it still can. A lot of people are coming out saying that this is still going to be a thing, and this is something that Nintendo is working on. We're just going to have to wait and see. A complete from the ground up remake would be really cool, kind of reimagining or remaking the story of Ocarina of Time. And I think that would be, you know, a big game for the year, honestly. I think Nintendo would treat that as one of their bigger titles for the year. You could also get a Link Between Worlds remaster from the 3DS, the same kind of way they're doing Luigi's Mansion 2, especially if they found out a good way to emulate games or to bring games from the 3DS to the Switch now. That would be awesome, because there's a certain 3DS game we'll talk about later that needs to be here. But Link Between Worlds is a great game. In fact, it's one of my favorite Zelda games of all time. It almost feels like a spiritual successor or a remake of its own from The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. So I really hope we see something like that on the Switch, I think it's a game that definitely deserves to come over and see the light of day before it, stays and dies on the Nintendo 3DS. But yeah, I really love that game. And the last thing, I know a couple of years ago, I think it was like almost 3 years ago, we were hearing rumors that they were remaking the Oracle games. So hearing that was super exciting, considering the fact that those are like the only Zelda games I never really completed. So I would love to see a complete remaster or remake of Oracle Seasons and Ages in like its own little collection pack. And I think there was even a rumor that there was going to be a third game involved as well, and they never made it. So maybe they can make it here. I doubt that, but you know what? That'd be really cool. Make it in the style of Link's Awakening on the Switch, and I think you got yourself a pretty good, successful Zelda remake or remaster right there. I think a lot of people would eat that up. What about the Metroid series? Well, that's pretty obvious. Metroid Prime 2 and 3 HD remasters need to come to the Switch. Now, are they going to do them one by one like they did with the first Metroid Prime? Probably not. I can see them both just getting slid into a collection pack very similar to Pikmin 1 and 2, where they're just like, okay, here you go. This now signifies that it's almost time to get hyped for Metroid Prime 4, that Metroid Prime 4 is just coming around the bend now, and I think that's enough to get people like, okay, now we can like play these games for a couple months and then jump onto that hype wave. I think it's about time, because I do think this Metroid Prime game, Metroid Prime 4 at that, is going to be kind of revealed this year, and at least shown off in some capacity for this new console, probably coming next year. But I think a lot of people are going to want to see, what this game looks like and stuff. It's going to be a perfect time in like a Nintendo Direct to show these remasters off. Be like, okay, here's Metroid Prime 2 and 3. It's available today. And also, here's a sneak peek look at what to expect from Metroid Prime 4. That would be pretty cool, and I think that's maybe why they've been holding off for a while, but it's definitely time. Okay, let's talk about some JRPGs real quick. Fire Emblem, there has been a lot of rumors that there's going to be some remake or remaster of a past game. I'll tell you right now, even doing research, I see tons of different answers, so I have no clue what this is going to be. Is it going to be a classic game back in the day, or is it going to be something a little bit more modern like the 3DS titles? It's hard to say, but there is probably going to be some type of Fire Emblem remake or remaster. I definitely see that happening. I just really don't know what to expect, and maybe Fire Emblem fans know more than me, but this one kind of stumped me. And also Xenoblade. There has been some rumors that Xenoblade X from the Wii U is going to get a port. It's one of the last few Wii U games, and it does make a lot of sense to me, especially considering the fact that you got Xenoblade, the original remastered, and the fact that they have a 2 and a 3 and tons of DLC all jam-packed onto the Nintendo Switch right now. So this is one of the last ones missing, and I feel like it was a unique one, allowing you to explore a seemingly open world. Like I said, I don't know a whole bunch about it, but I believe you get into those mechs, the Skells or Shells. Once again, I'm sorry. I'm barely kind of following the trend of Xenoblade right now. I definitely need to hop on that train and try a game. But yeah, I think it's a game that people really did love, and it's just left on the Wii U. That's definitely left to die, so hopefully they do find a way to bring that over to the Switch. Well, where does Kirby come in all this? Well, I think it's going to be a relatively small year for Kirby, and I think really the only thing that's probably going to happen is maybe some small eShop titles or something like that. Maybe like a small game to just tie you over for Kirby this year. But there could be a remaster or remake in the work as well, in the form of the 3DS games. They are some of the best Kirby games to date with Triple Deluxe and Planet Robobot, so I would love to see HD remasters of this game, once again, very similar to the way they did with Luigi's Mansion 2, and what I'm hoping they could do with Link Between Worlds. It's a 3DS game, or really two 3DS games that deserve better, and I hope they actually have a chance to be on a home console like the Nintendo Switch, well, technically a home, portable hybrid, which would be even better. So yeah, here's hoping that maybe there's something coming from those two games. Now, this is the other category, meaning that any game could go. It just depends on what Nintendo actually wants to bring back as a remaster, remake, or port. So first one, I know this is random and weird, but Punch-Out! Punch-Out's been very quiet since the Wii, so maybe they just kind of port over a remaster of the Wii version and maybe add some extra characters to fight against and stuff. That would be pretty cool. We were hearing rumors of F-Zero GX getting a remaster, and since F-Zero just got this 99 game on Switch Online, there could be a chance to see a remaster. I think that's the next way to go. Have that online game, then you have the remaster, then you have a new game, and people are really loving it. But people are going to actually have to buy the game for Nintendo to do that. Next up, I said Kid Icarus Uprising HD. It's something that Sakurai has been wanting for a very, very long time, and it just never came to fruition. So I'm really hoping that, whether he's helping to work on it, some other team, this needs to happen. This is a game that was full of content. It had a great multiplayer online mode. Kid Icarus Uprising is one that I think not only me, but a lot of people would love to see. And finally, the last two games that I could think of that could happen is maybe Yoshi's Woolly World on the Wii U. It was ported over to the 3DS, and then that's about it. So it's a really good Yoshi's game. I think it's miles better than Crafted World, and I think it's a really good 2D adventure game that they could definitely just throw into the Switch and just like make it come out in like either like immediately or the next couple of weeks or months. And then the last one I can think of is Star Fox Zero, because we haven't had Star Fox anything. Personally, I really hope they don't bring this game over. I hope they just let this game die on the Wii U and just make a really full-fledged AAA huge Star Fox game, a brand new game that's not kind of just a reimagining of the 64 story with Andross over and over and over again. Star Fox Zero was not terrible. Don't let people tell you that, but it's one of those games where I feel like it's not necessarily needed to come to the Switch. It can stay on the Wii U. And those are all the remakes or remasters or even ports that we could get this year in 2024. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am actually super excited to see what this next Nintendo Direct is going to hold and what other games that we could be getting that are kind of some classics maybe thrown back our way, especially as the Switch is ending its life cycle. But thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out, and let me know if you agree with anything on this list or if you disagree or if there's anything that you'd want to add. Thank you so much for tuning in, and like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.